This NFL scout has just been found guilty of killing his pregnant girlfriend because he didn't want the baby. She called her best friend the second that she realized that her boyfriend was trying to kill her and her unborn daughter. Blaze Taylor was 27 years old at the time of this case. He was a football star in high school and in college. He worked as a football coach for Duke University and as an NFL scout for the Tennessee Titans. When Blaze met Jade Benning on Hinge in 2022, the two start going out, but it's pretty casual, just for fun. But then Jade found out that she was pregnant. This was completely unexpected, and it was definitely not planned. Blaze told Jade that he did not want to be a father and he wanted her to terminate. But Jade told her boyfriend Blaze that she was going to have this baby, and if he wanted to, he could leave and she wouldn't ask anything from him. Blaze actually did leave Jade shortly after he found out that she was pregnant, but he did come back a little while later saying that he wanted to work things out. Jade Benning came from a very close family. When she was younger, she was a cheerleader, and then Jade went to culinary school and was working as a head chef in Nashville. Jade was so excited to be a mom. She found out that she was carrying her daughter, and she named her unborn daughter Ivy Blair. By January of 2023, Jade was 5 months pregnant. On February 25th, 2023, Jade planned an entire date night for her and Blaze. She was a chef, so she was gonna make dinner, and then she also set up this whole thing for them to do. They were gonna paint pictures to hang up in their daughter Ivy's nursery. Jade's best friend, Najea Jackson, that Jade knew since she was 6 years old, was over at her apartment earlier that day. Najea was there with Jade and Blaze. She said that the couple seemed really happy, but she did make note of the different paintings that they made for their daughter's nursery and that they were very different. Jade painted something super colorful with different inspirational quotes to go up in her daughter's nursery, where Blaze's picture was very dark, and he said that it was like a black hole. And after leaving the apartment so Blaze and Jade could have a little alone time together, it was a little while later that Najea got a phone call from her best friend Jade. Even though Jade called her, Najea said that Jade never acknowledged her. She didn't say hi, she didn't say Najea's name. All Najea could hear on this phone call was Jade having a conversation with Blaze. And on this phone call, Jade sounded weird. She said that she couldn't walk, that her legs weren't working, and Jade was saying to Blaze, "You did this to me. You put something in my drink. I knew my drink tasted funny. You're trying to do something to the baby," before Jade hangs up the phone. Najea does not believe that this was an accidental butt dial kind of thing. She believes that Jade called her purposefully because she wanted her best friend to know that something was happening to her and that her boyfriend Blaze did it. And after the phone just hangs up, Najea is calling her best friend Jade over and over and over again, but she does not pick up. And then when Jade's phone finally does answer, it's not Jade that picks up, it's Blaze. He told Najea that Jade had some weird allergic reaction and that he was about to call the police. Najea thought that this was odd because she had known Jade since she was 6 years old and never knew her to have any sort of allergies. Blaze does call 911 and Jade is rushed to the hospital in cardiac arrest. Sadly, 2 days later, her unborn daughter Ivy passes away. Jade was on life support for the next week until she also passed away on March 6, 2023. What would have been Jade's 25th birthday. And at Jade's apartment, police are trying to find what did Jade consume that ultimately killed her and her daughter. See on the table that clearly these people were in the middle of dinner. They see 2 plates laid out, and then there's 1 cup, and this was an alcoholic beverage that Blaze was drinking. But the cup that had the lemonade that Jade was drinking that night was gone, and they never found it. Someone took the cup that Jade was drinking out of. Remember, on that phone call with her best friend, Jade was saying to Blaze that he put something in her drink and she knew that it tasted funny. They run tests for the next year to find out what it was that killed Jade. And during that entire year, Blaze is living his best life. He moves out of Tennessee and moves to Utah across the country immediately after his girlfriend and unborn daughter die. He gets a new job, he has new friends, and he's dating new girls. Then after a full year, they finally get that toxicology report back. The medical examiner found an astronomically large amount of coke in Jade Benning's system. And this wasn't consumed through her nose, it was consumed orally. The ME actually said that this was the largest amount of this substance that she ever found in someone's system in her entire career, and that it did not line up with someone doing this recreationally, and the ME believed that Jade was poisoned. On March 14th, 2024, Blaze Taylor was arrested in Utah on 2 counts of murder for the murder of Jade and her unborn daughter Ivy. He was brought back to Tennessee where he pled not guilty. During his trial, there was a lot of damning testimony against Blaze. Not only did they have Najea, Jade's best friend, who got that phone call where she could hear Jade screaming at Blaze that he put something in her drink to hurt their baby. They also had one of Blaze's ex-girlfriends that he dated previously testify that in January of 2017, she also got pregnant. Blaze did not want the baby and that they terminated. And it was that same ex-girlfriend that testified that in the summer of 2017, Blaze came to her and told her that he had gotten another girl pregnant. This is a 3rd woman. This ex-girlfriend testified that Blaze was saying that he did not want this woman to have his baby. He was freaking out, and that he was even Googling if there was something that he could give this woman, something that he could put in her drink to make her lose her baby. And this is over 5 years before what happened to Jade and her daughter Ivy. And this ex-girlfriend said that Blaze even asked her if she could get a certain pill that he'd be able to put in this other woman's drink to make her lose her baby. She of course said no, that she would not give him a substance to secretly slip into this girl's drink. But this ex-girlfriend did admit that Blaze convinced her to call a clinic pretending to be this other girl to book an appointment, and that girl did ultimately go to that appointment. This 100% shows a pattern of Blaze Taylor's, that he's not only willing and capable of buying something to put in a girl's drink so he does not have to be a father, but it's something that he was knowledgeable and conscious of for 5 years before he did it to Jade and Ivy. And then just this past Wednesday, on July 1st, 2026, Blaze Taylor was found guilty of 1 count of 2nd-degree murder, 1 count of 1st-degree murder, and 2 counts of 1st-degree felony murder. And Blaze Taylor has been sentenced to life in prison. He will be eligible for parole in 51 years when he is 81 years old. I am so interested to hear all of your thoughts on this case. I've been seeing it everywhere, but I definitely don't think that it's been getting the attention that it needs. This is something that happens all the time. Actually, in this country, in the United States, pregnant women's leading cause of death is murder. It's not complications with pregnancy or birth, it's murder. Leading cause of pregnant women to die is murder. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people know, and is definitely not something that's talked about enough. So the second I heard about Jade Benning and Ivy Blair's case, I knew I wanted to cover it. Please let me know all your thoughts in the comments. Have you heard of this case before? Please let me know in the comments. But while you're there, please remember to be respectful for Jade and Ivy's sake, and also their loved ones. While you're also in the comments, please let me know what case you want to see me cover next. Thank you to everyone that was suggesting that we cover this case, and I will see you guys all next time on my next video. Please be a good person to your fellow person.